His children in these last days, how He will separate the dross from the gold. Jesus says in John 11, verse 4, this sickness is not unto death, but for the glory of God, that the Son of God might be glorified thereby. So we see Jesus explaining Lazarus' sickness is not unto death. Yet, in our eyes, Lazarus died. Jesus later says to his disciples in verse 11, our friend Lazarus sleepeth. I go to wake him out of his sleep. Jesus is talking about what we see as death, and equating it not with finite death as we would have been taught. Jesus is freely giving the water of life to his disciples, and his disciples, us, do not understand. We continue misconceiving the power of God. Jesus is walking us as children on milk to the promised land, taking our eyes from the physical world to the spiritual and blending both worlds. We see once again his disciples failing to connect God's infinite power. Jesus is continually raising the standard of faith for us. But after 3 years, the disciples say in verse 12, Lord, if he sleeps, he shall do well. Jesus is not only connecting the eyes of the disciples to that moment to the spiritual truth of the power of God's word, he is slow walking them to heaven's gates and what it truly means when we walk with God.